fear in my eyes. I ain't scared of no man. There's no man I'm afraid of ever on this earth. I wasn't raised like that. I wasn't born like that. It wasn't applied in my heart, baby. This is what I do. No man can ever say he looked into my eyes and seen fear because...
You see this guy right here in the back? That's Shelly Finkel. That's the co-manager of Deontay Wilder. You know, right now it's 6:15 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. And this news or this term of Deontay Wilder has... Okay, let me read it to you. Let's do a little reading rainbow here. This is from Deontay Wilder's Twitter page about 6:06 p.m., about 12 hours ago. Breaking news for all you Anthony Joshua fans, the $50 million offer for him to fight me in the U.S. is still available. Today, I even agreed to their offer to fight Joshua next in the U.K. If he prefers to fight in the U.K., the ball is in your court. It's up to them to choose. Right? So then this news started circulating around that, you know, he has agreed to terms to fight Anthony Joshua and the fight is official. It's not official. Listen, just last week we saw that Joseph Parker versus Bryant Jennings was agreed to terms. Then 48 hours later, he's fighting Dylan White, meaning Joseph Parker. You see what I'm saying? We've seen this before. There's phases to it. And then you have this come out, which I already knew. You know, I was like, listen, I'm not going to do no video. I'm going to see how this shit plays out. I want to hear, you know, what the people over in the UK, especially Eddie Hearn, has to say about this before I do a video. And at that time, when the news started circulating, it was going into the late night over in the UK. So we had to wait till the morning in the UK time, you know, or early afternoon, early morning, which is now, right? Before we start hearing the response. So check out this BS right here. Check out this really gets my piss to boil. Breaking. This is Sky Sports News. This is 6:01 a.m. my time, right? It's 6:17 right now. Eddie Hearn tells Sky Sports News contract will be sent to Bronze Bomber for the world heavyweight unification with Anthony Joshua. So you mean to tell me that, and I've heard this happen before. They'll send an email to whoever's in charge and say, you know, like to Shelly Finkel and Al Heyman and say, yeah, listen, these are going to be the terms, but we're going to draft up the contract. We'll send that shit to you later. But you look at this. If you want this, then the fight is a go. We got to draft up the contract. But it's, you know, they got to figure out a venue, the date, you know, because a fight like this, they're going to do 90, you know, they're going to try to do 95,000 Wembley, right? 95,000 Wembley. You know, go Anthony Joshua, you know, and Deontay Wilder for all the marbles, all the belts, get it out of the way. You know, this could have very well been Anthony Joshua versus Luis Ortiz, you know, get it out of the way. And in regards to Deontay Wilder, you know, he really had no choice. What, go fight Dominic Brazil? You know, fans would have been slaughtering him. Fight Dominic Brazil, it's got to happen. So financially, he should be satisfied. This guy's pretty cool. I follow him. He usually has like, what he does is he takes all the information from all the major boxing media, puts it all together, and also he be having inside scoops himself. Deontay Wilder co-manager Shelly Finkel revealed that Eddie Hearn upped his initial $12.5 million fee to 15 and then increased it further to a good figure that they now accepted for Anthony Joshua. So basically, Eddie Hearn at first offered 12.5, then 15. Now he's offered more. We don't know what that number is yet, according to Shelly Finkel, the manager of co-manager of Deontay Wilder. Wait a minute. You know what? There was something I was supposed to read, and it came from here. But like I said, you know, I don't really expect I can't really be too excited yet. Yes, this is a good start, but just a few days ago, not even a week ago, Anthony Joshua's promoter Eddie Hearn was talking about him fighting Povetkin. So it's like, You expect me to believe right now, oh shit, the fight is done. Him and Anthony Wilder and Anthony Joshua was done, when we see that these things again, take a shift, especially when you got everywhere these guys go, like Eddie Hearn, he's always asked about, well, what's going on with Anthony Joshua? Is he going to fight Wilder, So he be having different answers every time. It was, I'm going to read the ESPN story. And, people are like, oh, my God, the fight is done. Finally. A fight is not official to me until, we know where the fight is going to take place, the venue, the network, which is going to be a really big thing, because I'm guessing that if this fight takes place in the UK, it's going to be on Sky Sports box office, but will it be on regular Showtime here? It's going to be on like that. I know it's going to be on the Showtime channel and not the YouTube like page. And how does this play out with that new app subscription boxing service that Eddie Hearn is coming out with over here in the States called the Zone? Here, let me read this for you. I don't want to read all this, but I'm going to read the good parts to you. Oh, do they have a little story?
The world's two best heavyweights in the boxing ring. ESPN's Dan Rayfield reports accepted Anthony Joshua's terms for the two undefeateds to meet in the UK for the undisputed heavyweight crown.
Oh, my bad.
Although the
Hold
deal
on,
has
hold
two
on,
best heavyweights
hold on,
in the
hold
boxing
on.
ring. ESPN's Dan Rayfield.
Hold on. Okay.
Reporting that Deontay Wilder has accepted Anthony Joshua's terms for the two undefeateds to meet in the UK for the undisputed heavyweight crown. Although the deal has yet to be signed, it's a two-fight deal with the rematch to take place in the US, and these two guys are by far the best heavyweights we.
Now, obviously, if it's a two-fight deal in the second fight that take place in the U.S., then it's a two-fight deal for the one who has the most cards, right? The most belts, the A-side Anthony Joshua. So if he loses, it's similar to the same deal that he had with Joseph Parker. If Joshua loses, then he has to fight Wilder in the U.S., right? So I don't think I don't think that I would be highly surprised if it's one of those rare deals where it's a two-fight deal that win or lose for Wilder, he still gets another crack at Anthony Joshua. And if Anthony Joshua wins in the UK, then Wilder gets to fight him in the US, even though he's the B-side. So I doubt it'll be in a scenario like that. But nonetheless, this is a good start. This will be the first time we'll have an undisputed champion in the four-belt era, unless you count what the Klitschko's did as brothers. But in the four-belt era, you have to count the WBC, which Wilder has, which is the most lucrative of all the titles, the green belt, the WBC. But Joshua has three of them, the WBA. Even though the WBA is the oldest, they're not the most lucrative because of their weird rules and their two belts, whatever the case may be. But the winner of this fight will have all of the belts, every single, one for the heavyweight, and it will be the heavyweight of the millennium or some shit like that. So it's a big fight, and it's a fight that they can't keep bypassing and fuck up later on down the line, So, it's good for Wilder, and it looks good on his part to say, all right, we tried our hand. We tried to offer him $50 million. They did try to offer Anthony Joshua $50 million to come over to the U.S., to fight. But they would have been in charge of the promotion and yada, yada, yada. In this case, it's going to be a Sky Sports box office, Sky Sports Matchroom with PBC. DeBella is going to be DeBella. Is DeBella involved? I don't know. But this is a clear, B-side thing where they're like, all right, we tried our hand to get the 50-50. We tried our hand to, to try to be the A-side, even though we're not. And now they're like, all right, we'll be the B-side. We'll come over. How much you offering? Oh, you up the offer to around 18, 20 million, I'm guessing. Can Wilder win? No, that's a whole different, video. And I do believe he can, because you know why? Because that Wild, nobody wants to get hit with that. You can't time when that shit happens. If he gets you a little bit flustered, then he come in with that windmill shit. That shit'll fuck you up. If you haven't seen Deontay Wilder fights, go look him up. Anthony Joshua obviously is the better overall skilled fighter, and I noticed that UK Anthony Joshua fans, they get really, really sensitive. They get sand in their minge when you're critical of him. Even if you're giving him a fair shake, but if you're critical, especially if they come on your channel commenting after one of his fights, they be pissed. But nonetheless, I do think he's the better overall fighter in regards to skill. But that power that Deontay Wilder has is game changing. And he showed that he does have some heart. And he can box if he wants to. He's got that jab. But in no way in hell do I want to see him versus Dominic Breazeale. And I know Showtime doesn't want that. I know Wilder and their team, don't want that. They got to take this big money now before this political, Anthony Joshua was getting signed up by so many different, whatevers, sponsorships, network affiliations, and once it starts getting deep like that, fights become harder, to make. So we'll see how this develops. Now we got to wait for Deontay Wilder to get the contract. He hasn't got the contract yet. He agreed to the terms. I guess they was like, yeah, you're going to take this split. You're going to take this amount for this amount, all in email form, obviously, professionally written. And then it was like, all right, give us a few days to send you the contract. Then you got to sign it. And then we got to worry about if there's a joke of what happened with Chris Eubank Jr. when he was supposed to fight Golovkin, of him losing his pin and not signing the contract. And then Golovkin supposedly, allegedly lost his pin and didn't fight Saunders because he went on to fight Canelo next. So now the fight can't be official until the next news comes that, okay, the contracts have been signed, and then we got to hear about, okay, the venue. Then they got to have a press tour, over here in the States, at least once, Anthony Joshua's got to come over here and do a formal press conference. That's going to be awesome. And then we go from there. So this fight is in no way near done, like you're hearing all over social media. I'm sorry. But we're going to delve into this topic a little more later on today when I do my live stream after I get some videos out. It is, what is today's date? Today's the 11th, right? The 12th. Shit. June the 12th, 2018. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live, 6:28 a.m. Please subscribe.